What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? This is your man Dre Mac with another episode of the Dre Mac Podcast Show, coming to you live from StreamYard right now. And it's going to be on Speaker Radio, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all your favorite podcast apps. Today, that's nasty. I don't know what was in there, but today I actually have Operation Takeover. Today I got SoulChelle from the chat, and I also got Ebony, the doctor from the operation room, in here today. What is up, ladies?
Hello.
What's
Hey.
what's going on?
Yeah, so today we're actually going to be talking about poly relationships in the first block, and then we're also going to talk about intimacy in the second block. So I wanted to bring the ladies in so we could actually start having discussions, a little bit more discussion than normally that we have. And if this is the first time that you actually are following this podcast, first time you listen to this podcast, make sure that you go and add me to your YouTube channel. This is live right now on YouTube. Of course, it's live on Facebook right now, live on the Dre Mac Show podcast page. So make sure you add those page. Make sure you're also checking out the Dre Mac Show on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast from. This is not live on there right now. So, you know, if you listening to this later, this is a later broadcast, but this is still getting your broadcast in no matter what. So ladies, what is going on with y'all? I'm glad y'all in here. Just introduce yourself a little bit to everybody who's kind of new to you guys, and kind of, explain, what you guys do and all of that.
Okay, you want to go first, Ebony?
Sure. Hi, I am Ebony, the doctor. I have a podcast called The Operating Room ENT. I'm an intercourse enthusiast. I believe that communication, non-judgmental statements, things like that, just kind of helps with healthy, happy relationships. So I'm all about sex, love, and relationships.
And my name is SoulChelle. My YouTube is SoulChelle from the chat, as well as my Instagram. And I'm basically an unpopular opinionist. My show is all about basically throwing things out there that people don't think about. I like to talk and converse about a wide variety of subjects, so that's kind of what I do.
All right.
Okay, I kind of lost myself. Hold on. Hold on real quick.
I was wondering what was going on over there.
Just a little technical difficulty, guys.
Just a little technical difficulty. This is why I started late. Cause hold on, just make sure that I got the right camera on. And I don't have the right camera on. So y'all give me a second, because I gotta get the right camera on, because that's not the camera I want to use right now. I want to use camera B, and I'm trying to get camera B right. There we go. Y'all can see. Okay, we good now. We good. All right. So the first topic we were talking about, we were kind of discussing this, like a week ago. We were talking about poly relationships. Now, SoulChelle from the chat is the one who brought this up, because it's out of sight, out of mind for me. So SoulChelle, why don't you tell them about the poly relationships? Then we're going to start diving into, what we think about this, and is it something that's an option for most people?
So poly relationships, it's a growing up and coming relationship. A lot of people still don't know, and they're kind of like scared about it. I've been approached about it before, and there's different kinds of poly relationships, which the most popular is like polygamy, which everybody knows there's the man, and then he has like a swarm of wives, and they live in like in Texas, they have like those compounds and stuff like that. So, but there's polyamorous. There's people that are in relationships with multiple people, and those people might be in relationships. The key to it all is everybody's open and honest. There's no lying. Everybody's upfront about what they're doing. So I think when I think about poly relationships, is monogamy is not for everybody. And then I think about people who are serial cheaters. Maybe they need to explore their options about being like poly. Maybe you're really poly. Stop forcing yourself into something that you're really not, that's something that's really not, because I think we do force monogamy. And if you want to go all the way back, polygamy used to be like a standard thing. Like monogamy thing is a Western culture type of thing for real. So when I look at stars like the baby, and there's D-Ray, who's out about his poly relationship. There's people out there that I think that they should probably explore that and make that their relationship standard instead of trying to be something that they're not.
So basically, you're just basically saying, instead of just going out cheating, doing what you do or whatever, you might as well try to seek a poly relationship to see if that works. But to me, it feels like it's a little more taboo in the Black community, you know, as far as like these poly relationships. What Ebony, what do you think about that?
Well, poly relationships is definitely on the rise. And it's actually on the rise with the younger crowd, the crowd that's just coming out of college. The 23, 24, 25-year-olds is actually on the rise. I know we've talked about it at least twice on my podcast because people are interested in it. They're asking about it. What are the rules? What goes on in it? So they definitely want to know. And I think nowadays, just like SoulChelle said, nowadays people are kind of just used to keeping it a secret if they want to be with two people. Well, if you do believe in a poly relationship or the poly lifestyle, you no longer have to keep it a secret. What I found out is doing research and talking to the people that came on my show for poly relationships. They actually have less issues, less arguments, less problems. They are open. They are honest. Everybody kind of knows their position in a sense, and they work together as a unit, as a team. So it's definitely something different than being in a standard monogamy type relationship. But it's on the rise right now.
I mean, being honest with you, I mean, if to me, because I've been approached with that a long time ago, and it came from someone that was from African culture that was like, hey, this is what we would be able to do, you know. And at that particular time, I turned that down because I had a wide range of a lot of other stuff going on. But I do understand, why would you go out and cheat when you could have someone who wants someone in a relationship and y'all could just all be just one happy Brady Bunch type of family? I mean, I truly understand like the way people would look at it, like, no, marriage needs to be like this, that, and the other, you know. But then, you know, people still point to to counter the argument, people still point to the Bible, be like, look, in the Bible, so and so had this amount of wives or whatever, you know what I mean? So, you know, yeah. I mean, there's a counter argument to everything. What would you say is the benefit, ladies, to this? Would you say there's a benefit to having a multiple relationship or whatever? What would you say will be that benefit?
I think the unity is the benefit. I think the honest factor, the trust factor is the benefit. Mm-hmm. They certainly have less problems for what I was able to see and establish. They have less arguments. They have less situations that's deemed negative. There really isn't any cheating because you're just open and honest about what it is that you're doing. So that I would say that's the benefit. If somebody was going to say, hey, let's be in a poly relationship, and make no mistakes about this, Dre, this is nothing that is new. So a lot of times people will go back and say it's just on the rise right now. It's nothing that's new under the sun. So people have been doing this. It's just that some people are quiet about it. It's a whole bunch of men I heard that got 2 or 3 wives. Some people are just quiet about it. Well, in this world, in this society, you don't have to be. You can be open and honest with whomever. So I would say that's a plus.
And then, oh, go ahead, Shell. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, I agree. Let's hurt feelings. You know, you're trying to juggle multiple people without them knowing, or, you know, maybe, I guess some guys in particular idea, it may be some women, but I don't deal with a lot of women, but find the benefit is they may be lying to, I guess, their main chick, but they're telling the truth to the rest of the chicks. That's not poly, sir, because you're still lying to somebody. So I think that if you're honest to everybody knows who everybody is. Like the guy who approached me with it and his 3 girlfriends, you know, they all knew about each other. Hey, I mean, less drama, you know, everybody know what they doing, everybody up front.
I mean, honestly,
less drama is good.
Right. Yeah. Because if you really think about it, you know what I'm saying? A lot of things in Western culture right now is basically looked upon and frowned upon. And I also feel like, hey, if this is what you're comfortable with, because if we could accept every type of relationship in America, that, you know, we might not like it, but we accept it because it's the way it is in America. Then why not a poly relationship if that's something that you really want to do? Especially if you're less likely to go, you know, to be going off. You know what I'm saying? You have less stress. You have more communication. You have you know, and when it comes to sex, and I know we're going to talk about intimacy here in a little bit, but when it comes to sex, you know what I'm saying? If that's something that you guys do, then who am I to judge that? You know what I mean? Especially if I'm in a relationship where it's completely trash. You know what I'm saying? And I'm doing all the arguing or whatever. Maybe that's something that I might take a look at. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So it's something that Mormons really been doing this forever. I mean, nobody looks at the Mormons like, y'all nasty.
It's nothing new.
You know what I'm saying? They look at, you know, and when they look at the Mormon culture, they be like, well, that's just what they do because they're Mormons. You know what I mean? So I really feel like if you have an open and honest dialogue is taken for granted, you know what I'm saying, in today's society, especially when we're talking about relationships. Do y'all agree with that? Do you think like really open dialogue is taken for granted, or we don't really utilize open dialogue when it comes to things like this?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And that's why it's frowned upon, because everybody wants to kind of keep it a secret, or, oh, it's hush, hush, hush. But it's only hush, hush, hush in certain communities. Again, certainly with the Mormons, or certainly many, many years ago, it was nothing hush, hush about it. So it's no reason to frown upon it. So maybe in certain cultures it is, but there's a lot of people out there that's doing it and they're happy. They're having less problems and less arguments than people that's not doing it.
I have to be honest, though. I think the reason why it's still kind of hush hush in the Black community, and maybe I wouldn't say frowned upon, where it would never get far. Like I think the men in our community will have a harder time embracing a polyamorous woman, as we've seen, and She's Gotta Have It on Netflix. A lot of guys wasn't feeling old Nola Darling and her multiple boyfriends. It only works if the man can have his multiple girlfriends, but you're not allowed to have multiple boyfriends, because now it starts turning into a different type of conversation.
And to me, again, if you meet someone,
well, that's not fair.
It's not.
Okay, so
I can't have two husbands.
So okay, let's talk about that. Kidding. Hold on, wait a minute. So Shell, so if I met you and I said, look, you know, my sexual preference is being with another man, but I want to be with a woman too, and I want to have this type of relationship, shouldn't that be something that should be talked about up front? And not something that's put in the back burner? Because I do believe that a lot of times when you're looking at these particular type of relationships, and I talk about this when it comes to like trans women, I'm like, hey, be honest with a guy up front. Yeah. So you don't have to worry about somebody tripping out on you when they find out later on, you know, that, you know, this is the type of person that you are. So I just feel like that needs to be talked about from the jump.
And that's the whole thing about it. That's what we're saying. That's how successful poly relationships operate. Everybody's honest. When the dude, like, I got mad respect for him, even though I wasn't with it, but I still got respect for him. He's like, look, I got a girlfriend in this state, one in this state, one in this state. Yeah, they all know about each other. I spend time with them all. Like, he put it all out there. So I'm just like, you know what? I can't even be mad at that. And you know, he said, if I'm with it, I am. If I'm not, then he move on. And that's how it should be.
Right. And I feel
he
like
had pros in different area codes.
Yeah.
Okay. But he was honest. We respect honesty. I respect honesty.
I respect honesty.
Okay.
You know, and a lot of people don't respect that. A lot of people really don't know how to. It's almost like that scene in
it's taboo.
Well, yeah, but it's like what is that? The military movie where it's like with not Gene Hackman, but when he say you can't handle the truth. Golly, can't think of the name of that movie. But it's for real. It's like a lot of people can't handle that.
A Few Good Men.
Truth. Yeah, A Few Good Men, which is true. This is basically kind of what we're talking about right now. There's a few good men out there that actually be honest with you and tell you exactly what they're looking for. But again, a lot of people can't handle that truth, because I will be more willing to respect someone who comes out and says, yo, this is what it is. Even from a woman. Sometimes a woman want to do that. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta stop you, because that whole moniker of people can't handle the truth is bullshit to me. because
go ahead and explain that.
because it is not up to for you to gauge if people can handle it. Your job is to just be truthful.
It's to live your truth.
It's to live your truth. It's to just be truthful. And just because they shut you down and be like, nah, I'm not with it, don't mean they can't handle it. It's just that you gave them the opportunity to make that choice. So, and then they can move on. And once life is all about finding out what clicks. You find out what your friend tribe is. You find out how everything works. And so everything don't work for everybody. And just because something may not work for me, don't mean I could not handle the truth. It just means that at least you were a person enough to say, hey, I got this going on, A, B, C. And I'd be like, nah, I ain't with it. You just gave me the freedom of choice.
Right. I totally agree with you on that one.
The freedom of choice is important. And then a lot of times we just assume that people can't handle the truth because, to be honest, a lot of us wasn't taught to handle our own truth. A lot of times if we are feeling a certain kind of way, like you said, the one male might have been homosexual and wanted a heterosexual relationship somewhere else. A lot of times we can't handle our own truth, so we don't want to put it out there. That's why it's frowned upon. That's why nobody wants to talk about it. No, a lot of people don't want to step forward and say, hey, this is who I am. This is what I like. Would you like to be a part of this too? If not, that's fine. We can either be friends or let me move on to somebody else that's like-minded like me. We can't do it. There's too much emotions, feelings, anger. It's too much things involved. So a lot of times people shun from it. They shun from being honest about anything, especially about being in a poly relationship.
Because they don't want to look like the bad person, you know,
or a fool, or you know what I'm saying, look bad, or oh my God, you like anal beads? Yes, you know what I'm saying. That's just yes,
right.
I don't know where that came from, by the way. I was using it as an example.
Yeah. For real.
Are you sure you was using that?
Just using it as an example.
Just out of the blue.
Yeah, using it as an example. But I'm just saying that to say, if I was scared or fearful of telling my mate or my partner what it is that I liked, I would never fully be pleased. I would never be satisfied. He would be in the dark. It's so many things that come with being dishonest or not living your truth. It's not necessary, nor is it probably worth it. So just be honest out the gate.
Doctor.
By the way, man, since Shell was arguing with me about Wonder Woman, that whole movie is about living your truth. Stop the lying.
Stop telling them false stories.
That movie was good. I don't care what you say.
If it would have came out in 1994, I would have been all over it. But since it came out in 2020, it was all right.
He's like, no.
It was all right. But anyway, and that brings up an excellent point, Ebony, and I'm glad you said that. Is because, or let me call you the doctor. Let me call you the doctor, because I got yelled. So you didn't see our inbox. So you didn't see our inbox in our chat way before this. It was way more live on the chat way before this last week when we had our little inbox chat.
It's a hot topic, though.
I know. We'll talk about those type of topics on a later date. But you said something that was really important, really about living your truth. And I think a lot of people are just afraid, really, because we demonize everything.
Everything that we're not into.
And it's worse.
We demonize everything.
Everything that we're not into, everything we don't know something about, everything that has a question mark to it, everything that is against how we live our life. We look at it as, oh my God, she does that. And it may not even be anything wrong with it, but just because I might not do it or whoever, they look at it bad. But I say we should stop doing that. Like everybody is different, and we're not robots. You know, everybody is different. Everybody likes different stuff. Everybody lives a different lifestyle. And if we was all more accepting of that, I think we'll have just healthier relationships in general.
And that's absolutely true, man. It's almost like, it's like if you do put yourself out there like that, and this is again, and this is really a conversation that I would say that the gay community has been talking more about. You know what I mean? Because I'm not gay, but you know, I'm inquisitive and I listen to what people are saying, and they're saying you need to be more out with who you are, and that's one thing I can give them props about. You know what I mean? They're not sitting up here, just saying, well, this is who I am. And you got to accept me for who I am or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whether I'm gay, lesbian, trans, whatever, just accept me who I am. And it seems like the heterosexuals who got their own, you know what I'm saying, skeletons in the closet have the hardest time just expressing just, this is who I am. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I like having sex with fuzzy socks on. That's what I like. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, you know what I mean? It's like, if I say something about it, and if I say something how kiki I am or how much I love sex, you know what I'm saying? I'm still looked upon as, you know, you shouldn't be doing all that. Like what? You know,
you're
what
a
I'm
sexual demon.
Grandma didn't have 12. I'm telling you, some of y'all grandma and grandpa didn't have 12 kids sitting up there because he liked the way she cooked
reason.
Right.
Let's be real. It wasn't the beans. It was some other things she was throwing on them.
Oh, wait a minute. What kind of dark past you got if that's what you
I'm just saying.
It ain't dark.
It's not, somebody said that to her. It's not dark. It's just my past. It's nothing dark about it.
And to be honest with you, when I said that in that conversation, that's the first time me actually like admitting to the public like what my preference is. Like first time me ever, because I feel comfortable of. I'm almost 40 years old. I'm in that realm where I just don't care anymore.
You get real comfortable though.
I'm real comfortable.
Real comfortable.
You know. Once life done hit you a couple times and you done had to go through a couple of things alone and you know, craziness of life, it changes you and you're like, you know what? You know, we all got our stuff. We all got our stuff. So can't no one person talk about my stuff and they got stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right, absolutely.
Just let me be in my stuff and going on.
Right.
Yeah. You know what? I posted something not too long ago that said, you better worry about your own sins because God ain't gonna be asking you about mine when you get up there. He's gonna be asking you about yours. Pay attention to you.
Preach.
Don't pay attention to me.
Yep.
And that's the thing, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I think so many people are afraid of just to be who they are. That's really what it boiled down to. A lot of people are afraid to basically cut the ribbon out, let that butterfly fly out of that caterpillar.
Butterfly go.
Because folks be judgmental, man.
That's why.
And it's true. It's true.
And sometimes I think people don't want to be deal with all that judgment, but you have to get past the judgmental mindset and be like, you know what shit you didn't do perfect today. Why you sitting over here worried about what I'm doing?
You an angel. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just if you would, and I feel like this, if this is the conversation, because it's starting to hit me. It's like that conversation where people say, well, would you date somebody who had multiple partners? You know what I'm saying? Or they got 7 kids or whatever. Obviously somebody been in there and somebody gonna be in there after you. That's stupid. That to me that's dumb. If that's what you like, what do I look like? I hate those memes because I'd be like, oh, this girl got 7 kids. Would you still be with her? If that's what I want, who are you? That's the thing. Who are you?
And what does that mean?
Yeah, we always trying to put this perfect picture on somebody. You know what I'm saying? And then when they become who they are, then you want to sit up there and frown upon them and look at them all stupid or whatever like that. Nah, son, we ain't about to do all that. This is who I am. And if you don't like who I am, well, hell, you can kick rocks. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. You ain't got to be around me. But this is just who I am, and this is how I express myself. I'm a very sexual person, me myself. You know what I'm saying? So this is certain things that I like. And then when you meet someone or whatever, and they like, I'm not into that. Well, this is probably not the relationship you want to be in.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we will find out that maybe our mate or partner or whomever is not into the same things, but we still talk to them or still date them or still sleep with them anyway. Well, to be honest, I'm gonna go ahead and let you know you setting yourself up for failure by doing that, because what's gonna happen is I mean, if you're not getting pleased, ultimately there's only one thing that can't happen. Like let's just be adult and be real honest about that. So I mean, I think if everybody be honest out the gate and deal with the people who's like-minded or at least open to it. They certainly don't have to, have been in that lifestyle before, but at least open to it or to share that experience with you. Then, hey, you might get something. Maybe you should let them stick around. But at the point where, at the point where you just totally into something different, especially if it's sexually or about a poly relationship and they on no-go, then trying to chase them or get them to do it is that's you messing up the deal for yourself.
I do
Right.
not understand why people do that. Like they said they wasn't with it. Like why they're not playing hard to get, they don't want to.
The answer is no.
Yeah.
And it's funny because we're about to segue into the intimacy talk. But when you're talking about these type of relationships, like I had a young woman who said, "Look, I want to be with you. This is what it is. I want to be with you, but I also want a girlfriend. Are you with that?" She was like, "I want to keep the two separate. Are you with that?" And I was like, "All right." Yeah, I mean, if I want to, and this is the thing about being an adult. You know what I'm saying? If I make a decision, I have to live with that decision. I have to be up in front with my decision. I can't shy away from my decision. Some of y'all make decisions and then turn around and be like, "Ugh, I shouldn't have did that." No, you made a decision as an adult. Live your truth.
You gotta
If
stay.
that's what you like,
Yeah.
that's what you like.
Yeah. Well, I want 2 husbands. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you're not.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm far too bratty for that. That's not
Yeah. One person is enough energy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you know, hey, I'm a California wildfire, so I just hope the one can control me because I don't know. I might have to have 2. That's what we talking about.
Yeah.
That's polyandry.
But if you like, if that's the case, if that's the case, because again, we were talking about cheating, and we're about to segue into intimacy. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe that this all ties in. Really, it primarily ties into intimacy when you actually think about it. You know what I'm saying? When you looking at being intimate with someone, you know what I'm saying, and being in these type of relationships, intimacy has to be a factor into that. You're not about to be with nobody and there's no intimacy in a relationship or anything like that. Whether you have one partner or you have multiple partners, it has to be some type of intimacy that comes out of that. And the question on this is, how important is intimacy in a relationship? And what is intimacy? And this is for the people that's in the chat. And I'm continuing to post your comments and your questions in the chat. You know what I'm saying? This is for y'all. What is intimacy to a woman and to men? So some of y'all men that's in the chat, make sure that y'all chop in on this. But how important is that to intimacy, y'all?
Can you have a relationship without intimacy?
That is the relationship.
Yeah.
Some people do, but you know what? Some people don't think like that. They don't think that intimacy is a part of the relationship, or they have a different view of what intimacy is. Some people might think intimacy is long conversations, walks on the park, kicking cans, holding hands. You know what I'm saying? Pulling out a flower. She loved me not. You know what I'm saying? And some people think getting nasty every day is intimacy. So it's really your definition of what intimacy really is.
Intimacy is not sex at all. So I wouldn't say that intimacy is not sex. You can certainly be intimate with your mate, and you can do some things that maybe you feel that you guys do this for intimate time. When it's just you and your partner, maybe y'all watching TV, maybe y'all cooking together. That's y'all time together. That was an intimate experience. But I can certainly have sex with somebody and there be no intimacy there. And sometimes when you have to call your side piece, that's all that it is. There's no emotional connector at all. But you know he's gonna get the job done, right?
It's just exercise. So
that's it. It's just a release of stress. Is what I would call it. Thank you. I was stressed, and now I'm going on and have a great week. Thank you.
Wham bam. Thank you, ma'am.
So I don't need intimacy for that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's certainly different. But I don't know if there's a really good relationship with adults that have no intimacy. I don't believe that can really happen.
What about you, Shell?
We're
arguing about Wonder Woman. Now, we're gonna talk about that before we get off of here. But you know what I'm saying? We were arguing about Wonder Woman. What is intimacy to you?
Intimacy is like that connection with that person. And like she said, it really has nothing to do with sex. It's the pillow talking after sex. that's the
Hold on, wait a minute.
conversation.
When you say pillow talk, so you something like, yeah, I love the way you suck your finger up my butthole.
That's not pillow talk.
Oh,
You know,
I thought you were talking about that pillow
no.
talk.
I've had
You just said
long
after sex. So what we trying to
Wait a
figure out report?
I
What we
don't know
talking
about
about?
anybody else, but I've had long intellectual conversations after sex before, and
I
it's
have
like the
to. I'm
best.
just joking.
I don't want to
I
have
have
a long
to.
conversation, but we can have a conversation. It should
it's
be
like-
long because I should be, I should be a
Yeah.
little winded if you did the job. I shouldn't be able to have no long conversation, but I certainly will talk to you if I fuck with you.
Yeah, but it's like my thing is like how we just got through from like banging each other brains out, and now we talking
In a
about
deep convo.
yeah, we talking about politics or some stuff, and then you fall asleep, and then in the morning you might do it again,
Yeah.
But it's the long conversations for me. I am the walk in the park doing the romantic stuff. I tell people all the time, my very favorite date that I've had is he took me to Merrimack Caverns and we did the Jesse James Cave tour. And then after the little tour, we got ice cream and we sat by the lake and talked.
That's nice.
That was intimacy. That was relationship building. And it's still to this day my favorite date. It wasn't no, people think they got to spend a lot of money. It wasn't no whole lot of money involved. It was just me and him just chilling, doing something different, and having a good time, just enjoying each other's company.
Yeah, because some people think a date is a helicopter ride, and that's not the helicopter ride that was on my mind when you said date. So we got to make sure that we know exactly what you're talking about, because
Well,
a helicopter ride could be a date. It's just different,
I ain't taking you on no helicopter. We were gonna get a magical. We're gonna get one of them little helicopters. We're gonna put our face next to it, and then we're gonna act like we was on the helicopter and make helicopter noises.
Well, you wouldn't be the guy for me.
See, no, not at all. But you know what? SoulChelle made a really good point.
You better use your imagination.
Intimacy it really is just relationship building. It really is building a foundation for y'all relationship. It could be anything you want it to be. It could be y'all sitting down having ice cream and having a conversation. That was y'all intimate personal time. And relationships, whether it's poly or not, all adult relationships need some form of intimacy.
Yes.
In order to grow, in order to, like I said, build a foundation and have something to look forward to, you have to have that personal time.
Absolutely. And I'm joking because I feel like I'm playing, y'all.
He was telling the truth.
I wasn't.
Hey,
y'all
remember?
If I can afford a helicopter, I'd get on there.
Y'all remember when we was kids, you'd be on the phone falling asleep, be like, I ain't sleep, you sleep.
I ain't sleep, yeah, you sleep.
I
hear you snore. No, I wasn't.
No, I wasn't.
I'm hang up. Don't hang up. I'm sleepy, nigga. You sleepy. Hang up. Don't hang up. Oh, you want me to hold the phone? Just put it on the pillow and lay down. Put the phone on the pillow and lay down. You'll be fine.
But I mean, some of the best relationships, you know what I'm saying, that I've had. I've had, good conversation, just hanging with someone, watching the game, you know what I'm saying? Why, I'm a big Chiefs fan. I know y'all from St. Louis, you know what I'm saying? So, shout out to the old Rams. I don't know if y'all still root for them, but shout out to the Rams. But I was sitting watching the Chiefs game. I had a person that I built a relationship with. You know what I'm saying? We was just sitting there watching the Chiefs game, having a good time, just enjoying each other. That's really basically what it is. How you enjoy each other. Before you even get sexual. You know what I'm saying? And eventually, that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? We stopped watching the Chiefs game, started watching each other. But that's what happened. You know what I mean?
That means intimacy worked.
I mean, the Chiefs was working and so was I. So you know what I mean? But it's just really what you comfortable with. You know what I'm saying? It's really just conversation. My daddy used to tell me conversation rules the nation. You know what I'm saying?
Really
so if you really got really, really, really good conversation and you can vibe with someone, and that's really, really what it is. You can have a conversation with somebody and have absolutely no vibe with them whatsoever. It's just like a dry conversation. It almost becomes combative a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So you really got to have a really good conversation with somebody so you can kind of get to know who they are. You know what I'm saying? Have them open up to you.
Yeah, conversation is good. That's why I said I'm really big on just being an open communicator and not even being open, being honest. Being like, hey, this is who I am. This is what I like. What do you like? I frequently play a game called Make Me Choose. On my show. That's how I'm getting to know you. I want to know if you like this, if you like this. I want to know how much we got in common. I want to know. So it's different ways to figure somebody out, to find somebody out, but it always starts with the same thing: conversation. Open your mouth. Hey, let's have a talk.
Hey, Rico Suave in the comments just said him and his wife have their sessions. They play Call of Duty together. That's so dope to me.
But that's dope.
That's so
we had
dope.
that conversation too. You know what I'm saying?
About video games. Yeah.
If that's what and see, this is again. If you meet someone, they say, "Well, I'm into gaming." Ain't you too old to be gaming? Like, no,
she's not for you. She's not for you.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like we pass. This goes back to, you know what I'm saying? We pass judgment. You know what I'm saying, on different people. You know what I'm saying? And when we shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's what you like, that's what you like. You gotta find some. If you find a gamer girl, she gonna love you. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all got something in common. So it's really just it's what do you vibe with? And plus, that's my brother. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my brother Rico Suave, the tech guy. You know what I'm saying? That's my brother. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? It's what's your truth. That's what it basically is.
Oh yeah.
So you know what I mean. So like you said, okay. So I want to start getting some of the conversations from the chat, because I want some of the women. I want y'all women and men to tell me what intimacy is to y'all, so I can start. You know what I'm saying? Posting it in the chat, so we can have a conversation about that. And I'm sorry to get.
I can't even see all the comments.
I'm reading it. What's his name? We got a rebuttal here. Alex Chapman says sex is definitely intimacy.
I disagree. I believe sex can be intimate. I don't believe sex is intimacy. I disagree.
I mean, I put it like this. I can see where he's coming from, as far as like. If you, because to me, you know, when you have sex with somebody, you open up a lot to me, you open up a lot, especially if you're love that person or in love with that person, or you have some type of infatuation, you really start to open. You know what I'm saying? Not just your legs, but you start to open, but you open up more to me of yourself. So in that engagement, I can understand in that sexual engagement of sexual passion, I can see intimacy coming out of that. Now, what you do afterwards to continue the intimacy is something that you guys are talking about, as far as like the conversation and different things like that. You know what I mean? But I can understand a little bit of what he's saying, because you can really have some bomb sex with somebody and it opens up a whole can of emotions and different things like that. Now you're starting to be in somebody's treehouse. You looking through their window. You become Spider-Man.
He's a star.
Oh, my fault.
Right.
I didn't mean to say that. I said that out loud. My
Wait
fault.
a minute.
Intimate moments
we know you did a couple.
drive-bys. My bad, y'all. I didn't mean to talk about that.
He was in somebody's damn bushes, y'all. But
I mean, sometimes
intimate moments can happen during sex, but sex, I think, is physical. I don't think. I mean, if you have some emotions with somebody and you guys have sex, I think there is definitely going to be some things intimate that's going to happen in between that. But I don't think sex is intimacy.
And you know, sometimes somebody could hit that point in sex. They can hit that button, the crazy button. Hit the crazy button that activates the crazy.
Who didn't hit that bottom?
Somebody hit the crazy button or whatever. And you know, that's what we have when you looking through the bushes and doing drive-by, see if they got lights on in their house and stuff like that.
I know they car there.
But you was in the dining room.
Okay, let me keep going.
But that's the fluid exchange, though. That's the fluid exchange doing
his job. It's the nectar doing his job.
So somehow Shell popped off real quick, but she'll be back. But it says my intimacy is how my wife can predict my actions, start talking to me, talking in my language. And Marcus, that's awesome. That's awesome. I want to know what when you say my language, you know, I don't know if you're bilingual or you talking about some other language, you know what I'm saying? Some body language, but you know what I'm saying? I want to kind of know what come back to this and let me know what your language is so we can talk deep about that. And Erica put, what happens if you can't have sex Where is the intimacy? That's the question for the doctor, because I can't answer that one right now.
Yeah. So again, that kind of goes back to what I'm saying. So what if you can't have sex? So we know sex is, well, in my opinion, sex is not intimacy. Intimacy is really a connect. It's a way that you respond to your mate or your partner. It's how y'all spend time together, how y'all build together, how y'all create y'all foundation. Intimacy could be done in a plethora of ways. But again, I just believe it's how you connect with your partner, how how you guys get y'all a little vibe on, in a sense. It's definitely that. But you can connect during sex, and then it can be very intimate. But sex itself is just a physical act, so I don't really see that as being intimate.
And then Marcus finally, he said mental verbal language. Wow. Okay, that's
mental is what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's hard to come by when you get that. Somebody that's on that mental wavelength with you, and they do know your language, and they understand your language, and they responded to you in your language. You totally feel as one. You feel safe. You feel comfortable because they're reading you, right? So that's an awesome thing.
That's really awesome. I'm trying to get SoulChelle back in here. So I'm trying to figure out what happened. But yeah, that is very awesome when somebody can be able to read your thoughts and be able to understand, you know what I'm saying, basically your love language. You know what I mean? They could be able to, they have so much of a connection with you. They know you. They can be able to understand you. They can be able to mentally connect with you on a telepathic wavelength. You know what I'm saying? And a good friend of mine, Tisha Marie, who was on here earlier, we always talk about, when she's on my show, talking about vibes, that wavelength. I keep hitting my mic. Talking about the vibe. You can literally vibe with someone and be millions of miles away from them. You can feel their vibe while you having the conversation with them. You can feel that energy. It's always big on energy and finding that energy and connecting with somebody with that with the energy, and that's something that a lot of people really don't understand. If you got that energy flowing with that particular person, oh my God. Now to me, that's intimacy to me, when you have so much energy with someone, you know what I'm saying, that you don't have to talk to them for months, but then when you talk to them, you can feel that energy flowing.
It's on the same wavelength.
It's a connection that is almost like an ESP connection that is so wonderful. You know what I'm saying? And it's awesome. Almost so comfortable too.
That's why I said it's a very safe zone. It's very much a comfortability level. That's exactly what it is. And it nowadays, to be honest, you don't hear a whole lot of people talking about that. Why? They don't take the time to be intimate or to get to know each other. They don't take the time to find that. Some people you can meet somebody, you guys vibe, hit it off, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? You guys can run with that. But that's few and far between, honestly. So you have to do some work on your part to find. You got to hold yourself, accountable too. If somebody doing something you don't like, or you see a red flag and you choose to stay, then you subjecting, yourself to whatever consequences, good, bad, or indifferent.
And then think about this, though, Ebony. And when you're talking about when we're talking about vibes, and we're talking about the intimacy that you don't see. You know what I'm saying? When we're talking about the energy and stuff like that. Would you agree that a lot of people that meet certain people don't take the time out to open themselves up to that vibe? You know what I'm saying? Because they 9 times out of 10 trying to get in them draws, but they try to get the panty draws and not trying to really see if this person vibes, and you know what I'm saying, or the old school 70 way. And man, I gotta see if that woman jive with me, brother. You know what I'm saying? Jiving right, brother.
Well, I definitely believe that the intent factor plays a big part in there. If you meet somebody and you come into the table with any intentions in general, there goes SoulChelle. We missed you.
Hi, Shell.
Hey.
Oh man, yeah, that was ghetto.
That's okay. But no, anytime you meet somebody and there's some sort of intentions there, it may be a little bit harder to find a vibe. I think if you kind of go with a natural flow of things, that's a little bit easier, because a natural flow, you are open. If you just going by, let's just see what happens, wherever it takes us. If we feeling each other, having a good time, and we starting to vibe, that's a natural flow. Anytime we have intent already, we're trying to force something, right? If I have intentions to mop my floor, you know
I
what I'm
got
saying, that I have
intentions
to
to
force
get in that
myself.
ass.
That intention too, because that's most of the intention. Sometimes we gotta, but if that's the intent, then I have to actively get up, go get the mop, make some mop water. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if things flowed a little bit natural, I think the vibes will be better there. That's just from what I see from my experience, though.
And from my experience, when we're talking about vibes, and we're talking about that intimate um feeling and reaction, mine has always been, like I said, conversation. And it happens like when I'm least expecting it. And that's, I think, one of the best times I've ever met someone, when I'm just not really expecting this
When there's
person
no
to come
intent.
along or something like that. I'm just trying to get to know you. And then
Right,
next
that's what I just said.
I know, and that's why I said I'm vibing with you right now.
I'm just kidding.
Vibing, I'm there.
That
Okay,
genuine build up.
long as we hear back.
Doing.
Long as we hear back.
That's what I'm saying, because we here though. You know what I'm saying? So when people understand, we here, just like you said, we here.
That's at long. Hey, when things are natural, everything. I mean, the vibe. It normally is natural. That's all I'm saying.
Right, and that's really what it boils down to. And like I said, I really believe, and I want to get Shell's views on this, but to me, the best intimacy is the vibes. It is when you connect with someone on I would say, on a universal level. And when I mean universal level, I'm talking about literally you could feel their energy. And when you could feel their energy and you could feel their compassion for you, and when they listen to you and the way that they respond to you, all of that goes into the energy that someone pulls, you know what I'm saying, brings to you and brings out of you.
Yeah, that friendship part that's taken for granted. I would say that my favorite relationships have been the one where we just kind of ended up in one because we were enjoying each other that much, and we tight friends. You know what I'm saying? Like this my buddy right here.
Right.
Yeah.
And so before
That's
you
what
know
I
it,
just
it's like,
said.
dang,
So
I said, wait, what's here happening?
yeah. That
I'm
A1 from
just
day one. Y'all just, like you said, y'all just vibe. And it just went from there.
And that's what it really is. And all of this, because like I said, Ebony said basically everything we just said. You know what I mean? You said, I just said that. I know. Because
trying to tell
y'all. We got this.
I agree with whatever Ebony said when I was
Whatever you say, Ebony,
when I was blacked out.
Trust me, everybody. I'm a doctor. Trust me.
Because it's again, it's almost, vibes is something hard to cut off too. I think that's the biggest thing.
They do hit harder.
I don't think you can cut them off. I think they almost kind of have to be placed somewhere else.
Yeah.
I know for the type of energy I have for my very first love, there was never a cutoff. Now he's passed away, but there was never a cutoff. No matter if we decide to end things and be just friends, then that's what we were. That it's like, I love you. I always have. I always will. Mm-hmm. That's just that. There was never a cutoff of vibe. If I needed him, simply he would magically call. If I was listening to a song, I'm like, oh, that reminds me of him. He might pull up. That's the type of vibe. It's hard to find, but like I said, it was natural. It was no intent on my part. It might have been some intent on his, but it was no intent on my part, and it happened so naturally. And we end up being like, he was my best friend.
And I really feel like
best friends.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like really and if you have a person like that, literally that's the best sex you will ever have, because you are, for one, they have you open. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and I'm not talking about legs again. You know what I mean? Or 7-Eleven. I'm talking about they have you open with your heart, because your heart is accepting their vibe, their energy, everything. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That it is about them. And then when you finally, have sex with them, and the sex is, especially if it's good,
it's magical. It's magical like a motherfucking unicorn. Now that's not you stalking somebody.
And then you wonder why you started. And then you wonder why when you cut them off, you hanging on top of the bushes. You know what I'm saying? You peeping through the window, pow, nobody now. All of that. You figure out why it happened because
wait a minute. Let me insert a not so happy feeling when you got this bab going on, everything's all great, and then you get to the sex and it's like whack. And it's like I don't know how I feel right now.
Yes.
Dang, that's not cool. I'm gonna pray right now.
Yeah, real talk.
If it's anybody out there
I've been there too.
Right now, but
real talk, I've been there too. Like I'm like this person was all that, and then oh my God, they suck. They completely.
But was it like suck where they couldn't be trained? SoulChelle, was it like it sucked? So there was nothing that could be done. There was no teaching.
I don't think there's anything they could have done.
She's speechless, so I get it. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything they could have done. I'm like, oh my God. So because I like the person as a person, I
gave it another shot
for as long as I could, and then I eventually went ghost.
Yeah, that's what happened. I'm telling you, there's only one thing that can happen.
Go round.
Yeah,
that's it. Wait, I keep moving this camera because I don't know how to keep it steady. All right.
I done moved my camera like 8 times, then turned it off, then turned off my light on accident. I done did too much trying to get this because I'm doing something different. So I'm trying to get this, make sure that everything is looking. This looks better. Yeah, this looks a lot better. But I've been there. You know, you meet someone. What's the sad part is I met this young lady like a long time. This is I'm telling my age, but I met this woman in my mid-20s, and she was just everything. Like she was so cool, whatever. And then she told me, and this is I want to ask y'all this question before we start trying to wrap it up. But we almost about to go there. Then she was like, "Stop! I want to let you know I'm HIV positive." And I said, wow.
Wait, Dre?
Yes, I didn't do it. No, I'm not saying I had sex with her. I was just saying she told me this literally after weeks and weeks and weeks of talking. She told me the day we was getting ready to have sex.
Was you guys already in the act? Like, were you guys?
No, we weren't even there.
That this is about to happen. Was clothes off? Was kissing?
No, it wasn't even. We was. You know how you kissing, and you know kissing is something that's part of intimacy too. But you're in the middle of kissing, and she's like, wait. Before we go here, let me let you know. Now she could have told me this from jump. This is again talking about the truth. She could have told me this from jump.
And HIV is frowned upon. But if that wasn't her intentions, I would say no. She shouldn't have told you necessarily from the jump. But I'm extremely happy and shout out to her for being honest enough.
She was honest.
Went on because a lot of people, and I'm in the pharmacy world, a lot of people, especially in this area where I live, they have a lot of things, and I'm quite sure they're not telling people about it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I definitely just give her a shout out really, really quick, just for even saying it, you know. And if you guys was just,
I haven't seen her in 15 years, so I don't know.
Well, we hope she
this right now, but
yeah, at least she told you before y'all went that far. I wouldn't say that's something you need to tell somebody right off the bat. Front. You don't want your business in the street like that. You got to make sure that this person is going to even go that far, because all connections don't go that far. So,
but I'm gonna tell you from a man's point of view, when a man get a hard on, he ain't even thinking straight. For one, because we know where that hard on is coming from. We know it's coming from his feet and his head. You know what I mean? Where the blood is rushing from. So for one, I couldn't think straight and I didn't want to run, but then I was disappointed. Then she told me the story of how she caught it in her dude or whatever. So I went from, yay, I think about to get something. Damn, man, that's like the saddest story I've ever heard in my life. You know what? I think I'm gonna go.
I gotta go.
I think I'm gonna go now because
and sometimes that's why they don't want to tell. You know what I'm saying?
But she was mad because she was like, well, you couldn't accept me for having this. I tell you, this is where the medicine is now, because this was like 2005. So the medicine is totally different now. She was like, I got this contraceptive, I got this, and I got that. And I told her, I said, man, the way that I have sex, man,
it's gonna be Mr. Nasty time. We ain't gonna use none of that shit.
Yeah. I said, I'd rather tell you.
Is this a family show? I'm sorry if I'm cursing.
Oh, right.
No, you're right. This is an adult show. This is my show. This is the Dre Mac Show. This is my show. But,
right. Okay.
But again, I was kind of, it was like, I felt bad because she was like, you could have just stuck around and at least be my friend. I was like, dude.
You could have.
I could have, but I would. It was then because even though I used to be an AIDS and HIV advocate, and you know what I'm saying, used to do trainings and stuff like that. I was just like, I tried to be her friend, but she was like, because I didn't want to be in a relationship with her. You know what I'm saying? After that, she totally she went Casper friendly ghost on me. So again, it's about like SoulChelle said earlier. If I'm with it, I'm with it. You can't get mad if I'm not. You know what I mean? She told me.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
That's
why I said you got to deal with the consequences. If you being honest, you have to deal with the consequences, good, bad, or indifferent. That's right. Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And then that particular time, I said no. I can't. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's just not what I like. So yeah. And Marcus put, at that time you wanted a nut. Dude, first of all, the worst thing for a man to have, for one, is whiskey dick. That's when when you're drunk and you're ready to have sex and that person is not having sex. That's the worst thing they actually have. For that man to be hard, it ain't nothing going. It ain't happening. I'm talking about when you there, like
I would be upset. I'm so fucking angry.
It's just it's especially if you're a sexual person, it's gonna make you angry because that's something that you crave is sex. It I ain't gonna lie, I felt like the Incredible Hulk for a while. I had to go work out, play basketball, do something for the rest of the day. You know what I'm saying? I was angry. What's you upset about? Don't worry about what I'm upset about. Are you upset? And then I got an attitude when I shouldn't have had an attitude.
And you know why? That's because sex is a natural stress reliever. That's why you had an attitude. It's natural for people to want to have sex, and it's natural to release a lot of hormones when you do have sex. So you should be less angry. You should be less aggressive. You should be less rude once you release properly.
I was upset. I ain't gonna lie. I was upset.
I would be too.
I was hot. I wouldn't even hide about the story. I was hot because I was there, and I'm like, damn it!
I was just gonna get them draws and didn't. I'm mad.
And I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad.
You should be happy that you did in this case.
Yeah.
Because that's here. But anyway, he was like, phew, only a few people got that. And I married her. You can't, I guess, give everyone whiskey penis.
Please don't give it to anybody if you can avoid it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you could avoid, because
whiskey penis is not the move.
It may be the mood of so but women, y'all get drunk and y'all turn into the chick from I'm gonna get you sucker. You know what I'm saying? Legs start flying out, hair start flying, eyelashes start going out in the air. Let's keep it real.
I don't know. I think some of y'all like that, so
yeah.
we're different.
I think they like it when we drunk.
Yeah, I think so too. We're different.
We're different. Us being drunk, y'all being drunk is two totally different things.
No, I don't know about it. I don't know about that because like I said, it depends on what your level is. Because, whoo, that's all I gotta say. That's all I got. We're gonna start wrapping this up. We're here. start wrapping this conversation up. I got Ebony that's in the house. The doctor. If matter of fact, while you guys are on here, tell them how they can be able to get in contact with you, and tell them how to be able to get to your different shows, your podcast, your social media, if they want to be able to follow you or any of that.
Well, everything is the exact same. It's the operating room. So no matter if you're on Instagram, guess what? It's the operating room ENT. If you're on Facebook, it's the operating room ENT. If you go to You guessed it, the operating room ENT.com. I am the doctor. You can find me there. Podcast, season 2 of the Operating Room ENT podcast starts February the 21st of 2021. So make sure you guys check that out because these are the type of topics we have every week.
And I will be in St. Louis for one of those topics. So make sure you guys are checking that out when I go down to St. Louis so I can be a part of the podcast. So, you know, and especially if I get this vaccine.
Hey, man, I don't even want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that vaccine. We've been here all day. I got shit to do. I ain't gonna talk about that vaccine.
Speaking of the vaccine,
that's a conversation for SoulChelle.
So you can reach me at SoulChelle from the chat on Instagram. It's SoulChelle from the chat on YouTube. I'll be dropping my next video. My first video, you can go and view it. It's on the vaccines and some historical context about vaccines. And then my video I'm dropping on Monday. Huh?
You see how I pivot that for you? We're talking about the vaccine of like,
yeah, I see the vaccine. And my topic for Monday is why aren't there any relationship and dating advisors geared towards men? Why is it all geared towards helping women? And I'm talking about your Derek Jacksons and your Kev Talks and all of those people. It's all talking to women. Where are all the stations for the men to help them improve in relationships? So that's what I'll be talking about on Monday.
That's because I haven't opened up Twitter. That's why, because I haven't opened up that part of my conversation yet, because I'm about to become the next Derek Jackson. I'm about to put little tight shirts on. I'm about to put little tight pants on, sit in my car, and talk to men about y'all women folks. Look for it soon. I'm about to do a TikTok thing. I sound like an old man. Now let me shut up.
And you can hit me on Twitter. It's just SoulChelle on Twitter. It might show as Hippolata's motherboard on there, and that's where I do most of my banter at.
Look who bringing out some Lovecraft country. Look who bringing it out. All right, y'all. So I thank you guys for coming in. Make sure you guys are just sticking around. I'm about to just remove you guys from the chat, but don't leave until after, I tell y'all to leave. But I thank you guys for popping in here and hanging with me for today. Of course, we're gonna do more of these, and then I'm actually going to go to St. Louis. I could go personally be on their particular I don't know, SoulChelle talking about Wonder Woman, you know what I'm saying? And I like Captain Marvel, so whatever, because Captain Marvel one of my favorite movies. But anyway, I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Please stick around when I remove you. Do not go anywhere. So just to let you guys know, make sure you guys are really checking this out. Check out the podcast. Make sure you guys are checking this out again on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts at. Make sure that you go to my YouTube channel. If you couldn't stick around here, this is on YouTube, the Dre Mac Show, to make sure that you guys are liking and sharing this podcast. You already know that I am out, about to let you guys go. Peace, shalom to everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Dre Mac Show, and I will holler at you guys later. I'm out. Peace.